Hi guys, what you see below is the Xero S5M split edition, and if you saw my brief video which I put up, you know I had issues with the split on this quad, and I didn't, to be honest, even try and fix it. I just contacted Banggood, that's what the video was for, and asked them for a refund, and we kind of settled, and they gave me a 30 quid refund. At that point, I took this quad apart, checked a couple of things, realised it was basically just the ribbon cable which was faulty. It had been, I suppose it had been knocked or jarred at some point along the line. I used the longer ribbon cable which worked absolutely fine, so I've got 30 quid in my pocket, and I've just ordered another ribbon cable which costs 5 quid on Amazon for two, on Banggood for two, so everyone's a winner there. But anyway, while I was doing that, I kind of thought, in terms of the split, in terms of the 5-inch stuff, I don't really think that's its major market. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the split and probably put it in a 3-inch or a 4-inch, something like that. So what I've done is I've basically rebuilt this quad. Because I bought the Devil, and the Devil has obviously got much slimmer arms, I didn't really want to run the Devil with really heavy motors. So I've had a kind of change of heart, and what I'm planning to do is put the Hyperlight 2204s on the Devil and build that really light, because that frame I think will be more fragile than this one. And what I decided to do on this one is I've had these Aokfly vector motors kicking around for a little bit, and I thought it'd be fun just to put these on the Xero and see how fast it is. So it's had a complete rebuild. So what I've basically done is I put the Aokfly motors on. These are the 2650K, are they? Something like that. The quad itself has also had a complete rebuild. On this particular one, instead of worrying about weight, I've kind of felt it would probably be better with some weight, simply because these motors put out so much power that on a really lightweight quad it would just be really difficult to keep it low. So instead of using the Speed XASC, which I could have done, I've simply used the racerstar Anniversary Edition, which I used so successfully in my Martian build. On top of that is another F4 flame, and on top of that is the Matek VTX, which is switchable via goggles. And at the front I've changed the split for the new runcam sparrow. Now I use Skyzone 002S V Plus, I think they're called, which are a 16.9 goggle, but I tend to use 4.3 cameras. I have got a Monster V2, etc., and they're really good cameras. When it's bright and sunny outside, the CMOS cameras, the Eagle and the Monster V2, are absolutely fantastic. But when it's dull and cloudy, like it tends to be in the UK, I've always kind of found them a little bit dull. So anyway, this Sparrow, instead of being a CCD camera, is basically a CMOS camera. It's a little bit lower resolution, I think, than the Monster. Not 100% sure on that, but obviously in a micro format, it's pretty cheap as well. I thought I'd give it a try. So the only thing I really need to do is just drill a little hole in this plate just to lift the camera up, because I've got a little bit of top plate in view at the moment. But yeah, I mean, as it stands at the moment, I've used the AXii antenna as well. So as it stands at the moment, this quad minus props weighs 267 grams. So I'm guessing with these props on, probably, I don't know, 280 grams, something like that. So it's still a really lightweight quad. I could have made it lighter by using a different ESC, one with a 5-volt back, and instead of using the F4 flame, used a lighter flight controller without a built-in PDB. But I just really didn't feel it was necessary. excuse me. Now I've test flown this once and it's had a rebuild into test flew it, because when I test flew it I was getting video noise, and I kind of thought, well, that's strange because I'm using pretty much the same components as I did in terms of the flight control and ESC as I did on the Martian build, which had no noise. So when I originally built this, I had the VTX sat between the flight controller and the ESC. So what I've basically done is just shortened all the wires and moved the VTX to the top, so it will get less kind of interference from the ESCs, and fingers crossed that's cleared it up. Certainly just testing it in the back garden, it seems to I've got rid of most of the noise. From my quick test flight I can tell you in terms of punch, and I really couldn't fly it properly for two reasons. One, because of the video noise, and two, because yesterday when I did this it was crazy windy, so it was difficult to judge anything. But I can tell you just from a quick bleep around that that the punch this has with these motors is probably, yeah, it's probably way in advance of anything that I've built before. You know, a light quad with powerful motors, it just zooms to the sky in, you know, 0.1 of a second. You're a mile high. Now whether that translates to a good flying quad or whether it's just a fun quad for showboating and messing around with, I don't know. I wonder whether these motors are too powerful for a quad that weighs, you know, 260 grams without props and a lipo strap. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, it'll certainly be a blast to fly, but as I've kind of mentioned in previous videos, there's a difference between having, you know, the fastest quad and the one that you can actually fly the best. So we shall wait and see. But yeah, pretty chuffed with this. These motors, by the way, in flight are very, very quiet and really, really smooth. My only worry, as I said in a previous video, is how long they'll last, because we've got 3mm stainless steel shafts as opposed to 4mm titanium, which is on the RCX motors on my other quads, and also Aokfly are a kind of unknown quantity. As I said before, I have bent a shaft on one of these before, but I'm hoping that was just a freak occurrence, but we'll have to wait and see. But in terms of immediate impressions, they're very, very smooth, very quiet, and really responsive, so fingers crossed. Anyway, hope that was useful. As I said, this is going to be my powerhouse light build, and then I'm going to build the Devil with the 2204 motors, I think, and possibly SpeedX 4-in-1 ESC, just to see which one I like the best. So anyway, cheers for watching. Any questions, let me know, and otherwise, happy flying. Cheers guys, thanks, bye.